Hey guys, come on in. I'm Julie with Nothing is Wasted Designs, and we're going to make a thank you card today. So I have a Chalk Couture stencil that I've had for a while. You can do this with any Chalk Couture stencils that are small enough to fit on a card, or you can make it a bigger card. Chalk Couture's got a lot of there's a large variety of ways that you can use it, but this particular card that I'm going to make just says thank you. Okay, it is backwards, but anyway, everywhere where you see the white on here is going to be the color paste that you use. So hey Kimberly, come on in. I'm going to make a quick card. I need to write a thank you card, and I didn't have any, so I thought, oh, well, I can make one. So I'm going to make this pretty simple, I hope, and give y'all some ideas of things that you can do. So what I'm going to do first is I've got a small paper cutter here, and I am going to cut this so that it is at, let's see, this is 11, so 5.5. So I'm going to cut this at 5.5 inches. That'll give me enough, for 2 cards if I want them, but I'm only going to make one. How have you been, Kim? Hope you're doing well. All right, so now this is a scoring board. Can you see the ridges in it? Let's see if, see the ridges? This makes it so that when you fold a piece of paper, it's a little bit easier to do. And then they give you this thing with it that's called a bone folder. And, all right, so I want this to be, all right, what do I have? Well, it was 5.5, right? Oh, wait a minute. No, this is 8.5, I think. Hold on, because this is the width of the paper. All right, so this is 8.5. Half of 8 is 4. Half of a half is 1/4. So we want to mark this at 4 1/4. All right, so I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to take this little guy here, and it's going to go right down the crease, okay? And it's going to put a crease in here, and then what that does is it just makes it easier to fold. And so then I'll take this, and now I have the makings of a card. All right, so that's step number 1, is to get the size paper that you want. And most thank you cards are, let's see if I can get this on here right, y'all. Most cards are 5.5 by 4 1/4 for mailing purposes. So you can generally get envelopes for these pretty easy. And if you can't find an envelope, you can always make your envelopes, and that's another project for another day. All right, so I'm going to take this thank you. And I don't know. I'm gonna be kind of daring here. I'm gonna not put when you're working with paper, a lot of times you want to put wax on your paper so that the stencil or the transfer doesn't stick too hard to the paper. But I've used this before, and I'm gonna fuzz this. And we're going to stick this on here. And I'm going to actually open up this card so that I probably could have done this before. But my stencil is a little bit bigger than, hang on, I'm thinking. My stencil is a little bit bigger, okay, a little bit bigger than the card. All right, now why did I turn it over? Because I couldn't see very well through here. You can see it with the light here now because it's behind me, but I turned it over to see if I had about the same amount of space on each side of this, and I do. So here we go. This is going to be pretty easy, y'all. I'm going to take, and I'm going to do this in blue and black. Well, I'm not going to use that blue. Hold on a minute. I may be changing my mind. This looks like it needs some water, and it's going to have to sit. So I'm going to have to come up with a different color because this one. All right. So the Chalk Couture paste is water based. So this is a lesson in itself. You see how thick that is? It is like really, really thick. I can barely get my, my little stir stick in there. And so what I'm trying to do is I'm just kind of mixing this in here with the water that's there. And I'm gonna have to let it just sit because there's nothing I'm not gonna be able to use this right now. So I may be changing my color scheme. We will see. I may go with a gold. Maybe I'll do nominee. Maybe I'll do the nominee. I really like nominee. Maybe I'll do nominee and black. All right, just kind of, you can see I'm stirring that up. It's still kind of chunky. So I'm going to add a little bit more water, and then I'm going to just put a lid on this. I'm going to stir it in here, and then I'm going to put a lid on this and just let it sit. And then I'll be able to use it later in the day or tomorrow. But it's going to be too chunky for me to use right now. The chunks that are in here, I don't know if y'all can see the chunks. See the chunk? Can you see the chunks in there? When I get ready to squeegee it over the silk screen area, it's going to stick in the silk screen area, which means that it's not going to go through and it'll be real blotchy. So I'm going to just wipe this off. Okay, and I'm going to put a lid on this because I will use this another day, but I am not going to use it today. Let me come over here, and I think I'm going to go with the gold. I'm going to go with the nominee, and unless I could do a navy. So what do y'all think? Should we do navy or should we do gold? I think I kind of like the gold. I'll do the gold with the black thank you. All right, we're going to do that. And we're going to see if this one's going to be, because if I don't use the paste, okay, this looks pretty good. If I don't use the paste in a while, it can, all right, yeah, this is nice and smooth. See how smooth and creamy that is? This is what we're going to use. This is what we're going to use. And this could actually use just a smidgen of water in it. Nominee is one of my favorites that I love. I really like this. This is a metallic paste, and it just, I don't know, I haven't found anything that it doesn't look good on. The Chalk Couture really outdid themselves on this one. All right, so we're going to have that. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to do this in gold, and I'm going to do thank you in black. So here we go. It's really not going to take long. Pick up the excess. I don't need quite that much on there. And what I like to do is I like to go from the outside of the design into the middle of the design so that I don't go into a design that's adjacent to it. All right, so see, I've got this little bit here. I want to go away from the thank you. And then I don't want to go off of the edge. All right, y'all wait. You're going to love this. You're going to love this, love this, love this. All right, let me go with the black. I'm going to just do the word thank you in black. And I will show you how to clean these transfers too. Chalk Couture calls them transfers. It's kind of like a silk screening. Hey, Patricia, how are you? I'm making a thank you card just out of regular cardstock. All right, let's see if I can get this off my hands. Here we go. Show you what we got. Oh, yep, I was afraid of that. All right, so I'm going to show you what the mistake that I made, and then I've got another paper that I can do. All right, I tried to do this without waxing, and it's sticking to the paper. All right, so it's tearing the paper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this. and then I'm going to do another one. But this is how it turned out. And I'm going to show you, I like that. I'm going to show you how you do this. By waxing the paper, okay? I was hoping I was going to be able to get away with not waxing it, but it doesn't look like that was going to happen. So here we go, y'all. I'm going to pull this out, and I'm going to take my board eraser. I've got this in water. I'm going to take my board eraser, and I'm going to just clean this off of here. Rinse my board eraser. Hey, Lisa, good to see you. All right, and then I'm going to turn this over, and you see this, the paper is going to come off of this because when when the Chalk Couture stencils get wet, the adhesive, I don't know if you call it neutralizes or goes away or what the proper terminology is, but it's not sticky anymore. All right, so here we go. So we're going to do this again. Sometimes you can learn more by watching somebody mess up than you can do by them doing it right all the time. Hey, Linda, good to see you. Come on in. Making a thank you card. I messed up the first ones because I did not wax my paper, and I'm going to show y'all how to wax so that I don't make the same mistake twice. Let me get my wax. All right, this is the surface wax. And I'm gonna push y'all back just a little bit and down. All right, we're gonna do this again. So this is what we did. Can you see where the paper tore? It lifted up with the stencil. All right, gonna do it again. So I'm gonna come in here. I took an 8.5 by 11 inch piece of paper. I cut it in half, so now I have 8.5 by 5 and, by 5.5. 8.5 by 5.5. And now what I want to do is I want to take the 8.5 side and I want to divide that in half. So I'm going to take half of 8, which is 4, and half of a half, which is a quarter, and I'm going to score this on the 4 1/4 side. And then what this is going to do is it's going to give me a crease so that I can fold this very easily. And then I'll take this bone, what's called a bone folder, and just give it a nice fold. All right, now we're going to put this out of the way. We're going to do this a second time, but this time I'm going to do it a little bit differently. I'm going to go in here with my wax. This is surface wax. And I'm going to put just a thin layer of wax on the top of this. And this is going to keep the, all right, let me look at this, see if I've got, all right, hopefully I've got that on there. All right, so really the rule of thumb, and I was kind of being risky with this. The rule of thumb is, hey Linda, the rule of thumb is that when you're working with paper with these stencils, you really want to wax them, and for the reason that I just showed you. What happens is the adhesive sticks to the paper. All right, let me see what I got here. I'm going to hold this up. All right, looks pretty straight. All right, we're going to do this again, but this time, all right, I'm going to do the same color because I want gold and black. I could just do, should I just do all gold? What do y'all think? This is what we have. Should we do gold and black? I kind of like the gold and black. Hey, Kentucky, how are you? Where are you in Kentucky? I have a friend who lives in Louisville. The great state. I love Kentucky. All right, here we go. I'm going to take Nominee and a squeegee, and I'm going to just go over this with gold. It's not going to take long. You just take your squeegee, a little bit of the paste, and I like to go from the edge of the design into the middle of the design, and then that way I don't go off of my paper. And should I just do it all gold? Flemingsburg. Where is that in connection to Louisville? Because that's my landmark for Kentucky. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do the black again. All right, here we go, y'all. Get this off of my fingers. All right, you ready? Let's see what we do. All right, see how much, oh, and that one bled. No, I'm just not having a good time and good luck with this. What happened? All right, I'm not giving up. You can reuse these stencils. I don't know what happened there. It's got a big blob in the middle. All right, we're gonna do it again. I'm not done. I don't give up easily. So, I'm gonna come in here. I'm gonna cut my paper again. I'm gonna take the 11.5 side, and I'm gonna turn it in, or 8.5 by 11, and I'm gonna turn it into 5.5. And we're gonna score it again. And I'm gonna use the, so that I don't have to clean this again, I'm gonna use the other side, the other image that I have. All right, taking my bone folder, and I'm gonna crease this at 4 1/4. There's little markings on here. I'm not guessing on this. You know, sometimes it's good to see what not to do, right? All right, gonna wax it. Gonna wax it again. And this wax goes a long way. Close to. Oh, in Ohio. Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. Well, thanks for joining me. It's good to see you. All right. Gonna put some wax on here. This makes it so that you can lift that adhesive stencil up off of here. Whoops. How many coleslaw fans are out there? All right, let's do You're the Best. I'm gonna do this one. You're the Best. And I'm gonna put a little bit of fuzz on here so that it doesn't stick quite so hard. This could be just a comedy of errors today, y'all. Hey, April, good to see ya. Oh no, I already saw you, April. Sorry about that. I thought there was another April on there. Got Kentucky in the house. All right, here we go, y'all. All right, I'm gonna put You're the Best. And I'm gonna do this all in gold. Let me bring this down just a smidgen. What I'm doing is I'm lining this edge up of the stencil with the edge of the paper. All right, I'm gonna do this all in gold. So if you don't learn anything else, you're seeing that these stencils are reusable. And, you know, Chalk Couture says anywhere from 8 to 12 times, but some of these you can get a lot more out of that. All right, here we go. We're gonna just do this all in gold. Hopefully we're gonna get it right this time. I don't give up easily. All right, here we go. Let's see what we got. Get this off of my hands. All right, there we go. Oh, you know what? I like this one even better. All right, so maybe I just needed to do a different design. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, let me dry it. Show you what I have real quick. You're the best. And we're going to dry this. So it looks like it's embossed. Now, obviously, you could take a stamp and some embossing powder and a heat gun. You could take some. All right, we're gonna go ahead and make sure this is nice and dry. I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna crease this, but you could take some embossing, you know, like stamps and embossing ink. Oh, that's not too bad. I've been to Kentucky. I've been through Kentucky a lot, but I've been to Kentucky maybe a couple of times. All right, y'all, this is what we got. We got our own thank you card. Just some cardstock. Cut it. I'm going to do blank on the inside because I have a note that I want to write with this. And for those of you that just hopped on, I'm going to show you how I clean these stencils. We're going to take a board eraser and just go over the silk screen area. Now, sometimes the ink will actually stain the stencil, but that's okay. As long as you get all of the... Let me look at it. I'm looking at the area where, see how the light goes through that? I'm looking at that to make sure that I got all of that out of there, so that the next time I use it, it's not clogged up. Because if you have your silk screen area clogged up, then you're not going to be able to get your paste through it the next time you go to use it. All right, same thing. Not quite sure what happened with the other one, but we're going to go with that, the other design. And so any of these stencils that Chalk Couture has, you can use any of these for, you can do them on paper, but you want to make sure that if you use paper, don't make the mistake that I made for you. You want to make sure that you wax your paper. And this is a clear wax, okay? It's called surface wax. I sell it in my Chalk Couture, on my Chalk Couture website. And and these stencils will go on glass, paper, wood, plastic, a variety of different surfaces. I'm trying to think. Fabric, you can use these. You can use this on fabric and use ink. The ink can be heat set. Hey, Berta, how are ya? How are you, my sweet friend? It's good to see you. I always look forward to seeing your name pop up. It always encourages me. Let me show you what we made. You can go back and see the mistakes that I made. But this is what we ended up with. I made a thank you card. It says, "You're the best." A thank you card for a thank you note that I want to write. And let's see, where is... Hold on. All right, here's this. All right, so we're going to take and put this back on the back sheet. How you doing down there in the deep south? You staying cool? All right, and then we're going to put this one on its back sheet. Make sure it's on the shiny side. And we'll put this buzzing cloth away. And that's what we have. So let me show you the ones that I messed up on. And I can't figure out what happened to this one to cause it to mess up. So this was one of them that, hey Sally, how are you? This is one that I messed up on. And then this one here, okay, this is a good lesson for y'all to learn. Okay, can you see right in here where the paper is kind of ripped? What happened was I did not wax the paper. And because I didn't wax the paper, the adhesive stuck to the paper. And when I went to pull the adhesive off, it pulled off some of the, I'm trying to make it so y'all can see it. Some of the top layer, there it goes, right in there. See in there? It pulled up some of the top layer of the paper. So it's really important that when you're working with paper and the Chalk Couture stencils, now this one I waxed and, oh, good for you. His butter scrambled eggs. Oh, 106. Oh, stay cool. I eat a lot of eggs. A lot of eggs. Did you see the, I think you did, saw the egg carton that I decorated? So Seth and I have been hard boiling like 12, 15, 16 eggs at a time. And so the egg carton that I did for yesterday's project was so that we didn't have to write on the egg carton hard boiled. We just know that the ones in the chicken, what do you call it? The chicken egg carton are the ones that are hard boiled. So so that just, it's gonna make it easy. We use them a lot for snacks. It's Seth found a recipe online for hard boiled eggs. I'm telling you, I've done hard boiled eggs a long time. I'm 66 and I've done them a long time. But he has found a go-to that works every single time. And what he does, this is what he researched. You put some water in a pot, and then you put however many eggs that you want to hard boil. We just filled the pot up, however many will fit without them being squished together. And you make sure that the water is about, I don't know, maybe about an inch or two higher than the eggs. If it's not, add a little bit of extra. Then you turn your burner on, and no lid at first. You turn your burner on and you bring the water to a bubbling boil, okay? Not really a rolling boil, but a bubbling boil where everything is bubbling. And as soon as the water is bubbling, then what you do is you take the pan off of the heat, you put a lid on it, and you let it sit for 10 minutes. Don't touch it. Take it off the heat, walk away, come back in 10 minutes, take the lid off, pour the hot water off of the eggs, and then put the eggs in a container of ice water where you have like an ice bath, and let that sit, let the eggs sit again until the ice has melted. It'll be perfect every time. I mean, it's like, I played this guessing game. Well, let's see, I think it's 12 minutes. Well, you know, and I bring it to a boil, and then I put the timer on, and I do all these things. And sometimes they were really good, and sometimes they were, you know how eggs can turn green? Sometimes they were green. But this is a foolproof, will work every single time, and then you can just stick them in the refrigerator, and people can peel them on their own and have a snack. It's a great protein snack and easy to go, easy peasy. All right, so today's lesson was how to make a thank you card, or how to, what's the word I want to use? How to use Chalk Couture on paper. Y'all have a great afternoon. I know it's early for me to come on, but we're going to go, and Seth has recently had a birthday, and so we're going to go and celebrate his birthday with some family members. And anyway, so we're going to go out to eat. So I thought, well, I want to come on and show y'all how to do this thank you card, because I don't know what time I'm going to get back. All right. I love y'all. Jesus loves you more. I hope you have a great day. And let's see, tomorrow is Wednesday. I'm planning on being on tomorrow. Not sure what time yet. All right. Bye. Love you. Bye. Bye, Berta.